Well, good evening. I was throwing virtual snowballs at you. But welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, and they call me Chris of the Northwest. And we're going to talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're dreaming of the tropics, we'll be caching in the chilly Northwest.
It has been chilly here for sure. All right. Well, tonight we're talking about geocaching while numb. No,
Well, yes, it could be if it's that cold.
it's that cold. Yeah. Geocaching by the numbers. Still cold. Geocaching by the numbers.
I didn't realize how cold the title was.
Geocaching by the numbers. So, live audience, chime in. Do you have a favorite number? Do you have a favorite geocache? Do you have a favorite geocache by number? Do you color by number? Do you cache by number?
I was thinking paint.
Paint by number?
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
It's like how I drive by Braille. Same idea.
Yeah. Well, we're going to mix things up a little bit tonight, and we're going to bring in our calculating calculator. Some say he taught his children to drive entirely by video chat. And others say he is more exciting than an exclamation mark. All we know is he's called Limax.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How can we not have Limax on with a show about numbers, right?
Well, yes, exactly. Exactly.
Kind of goes hand in hand.
In hand in hand, in hand in hand.
Ad
On
infinitum.
and on.
Item.
That's the centipede's holding hands.
Oh, there you go. Does it tessellate?
Yeah, in hand in hand in hand in hand.
Well, let's start by
Yes.
saying a quick appreciation of our patrons who help keep this podcast coming each and every week. We thank the Land Sharks, one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. You can check out everything they've got at landsharks.ca. Now, we also have another corporate Denali level sponsor. Yes, we do. That would be Gold Country Geotourism. Go and explore goldcountry.com. That's a website, exploregoldcountry.com, to learn more about the geotours, because there's more than one now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you learn all about the region. Don't forget to download their handy dandy app. Oh, it is so very useful. So if you want to know more about supporting this here podcast, go find the Patreon link. It's hidden somewhere on the cachingNW.com website. It's a bit of a treasure hunt, well, not quite a paint by numbers, not quite a crossword, maybe a Sudoku type of puzzle.
And
No?
a little trivia there. I understand that the backdrop behind our guest Limax was that photo was taken in Gold Country. So
Yes, it was.
there you go.
That very well could be Spence's Bridge. You know what? Let's bring in somebody who could verify whether that is Spence's Bridge or not. Well, hello, Land Monkey.
Hello. Is there a
Land Monkey
podcast
meet-
tonight?
Yes, actually there is.
What is a monkey? Oh no, that's different. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. Even if it has a monkey kind of shape.
Shape. There we go. What is a monkey? Hey, speaking of that, it is time for the glow. And some people may want to know, what is
What is a glow?
Oh, man. I love it in a different voice. Thank you so much, Limax. Your check is in the mail. The glow is the geocaching log of the week. So whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it, because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email like our glow provider of the week has, or you could call in to 253-693-TFTC and show us just how you glow. Now, I realized I didn't tell you where to send in an email, so just send one and see what happens. The internet knows.
It's like dropping a card to Santa.
Exactly. It works.
It just shows up.
You know what? Try feedback at cachingnw.com just in case. some of the internet mailman may not know where to send it to caching in the Northwest, but you know what? You give them their address, it'll come right to me.
All right. Well, this one did come to us from Three Hems in a Rose, frequent contributor to the chat and patron to the podcast. He says, "Howdy, Caching in the Northwest hosts and listeners." So that's all y'all out there. I just wanted to share reaching cache find number 22,222. Also pronounced as tutu. Found it this past November 13th on a geo hike in Larrabee State Park with Brylang, Bug Girl 1975, and the Mulder Clan. I know some listeners of this show seem to have a thing for special numbers. Cheers. Three Hems in a Row. Thanks, Matt.
Very nice.
Star like it was done without me there.
Wants to know, what is a glow provider?
Hmm.
Well, I didn't want to spoil the name ahead of time, so I was just the person who put in the glow. Okay. Folks, if you want to add something to tonight's chat, use the hashtag numbers, and our own dedicated chat lackey will make sure that question gets answered. Well, it depends on what the question is. Okay. Nonetheless, use the hashtag numbers in tonight's show. And of course, use the hashtag FATAS to bring up something in the after show. And here is Three Hams following up. He says, wait till I hit 33333. How would you say that one, Wits End?
33,333.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That one's
not to be confused with 333, which is not correct.
No, it is not. Then it should be 330 and 3.
What about 330, 333?
Well,
you are the numbers expert, so yes.
That's right. Well, we'll defer to you for all things number judgment, but my rule of thumb is and is only used in fractions.
And that's what I was actually taught in school, and I don't know why I just said and right then.
And this doesn't really apply anymore in the day of digital displays, but my sister, who is a math teacher, is a very much a stickler for that rule. It drives her crazy when people say and in the middle of a number. But she says, I used to tell my students, and you will never, ever, ever see decimals and fractions in the same thing. And she says, and then I drove past the local gas station and saw the gas with this and 9/10. But nowadays you don't see the 9/10 anymore.
That's really true.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, because it's all digitally done.
Yeah,
you don't put the 9/10 after it anymore.
And I never did understand why they put the 9/10 after
to make it cheaper.
I guess, just to make it look like they were saving money. It's like, really, come on.
It's the whole $3.99 versus $4. Well, $4, it's more expensive. $3.99, well,
yeah, it's like that's closer to $3. That's a better deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not if you round properly. Hey, tonight we want to talk on a little bit of news. Sorry, I'm shifting gears. Did you smell the clutch burning as I shifted there?
I kind of heard the grinding gears.
Okay. Yeah. Now we've got two news stories. The first one is from the geocaching blog, our favorite premium features. This one is the Trails map. Have you used the Trails map on the official Geocachinger app?
I have not. I did know that it was there. Last time I needed to use a trail map, I was actually able to find an overlay to do it. But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, if we go on to read a bit more of the articles, today we're shining a light on one of our favorite premium member features, the Trails map. The Trails map is an option available on geocaching.com and the official Geocachinger app that shows trails in cities, parks, and wild spaces. Have you been to some wild spaces? I'm telling you. This useful feature I didn't pause because, you might answer that and I don't want to go that way. This useful feature is a help to get any geocacher who's ever searched for a cache off the beaten path or in an off the grid area. Now, number one, the trails map shows paths that other maps don't, right? If you switch to the trails map, the path to the cache is clear. And personally, I've used this a lot, right? You look at where it is and you go, hold on. Let me open up a map that shows the trails. Look at that. There's a trail right to it instead of bushwhacking that extra 100 feet. Because, well, I've been known to do that.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah. Number two, the map is built by a community of map lovers. And you want somebody who loves maps to build maps. The Trails Maps relies on OpenStreetMap. Perhaps you've heard of OSM. OpenStreetMaps is an open source map built by map enthusiasts who contribute and maintain data all over the world for roads, trails, cafes, rail stations, and much more. That means the Trails Map reflects the local knowledge of people who know the area well and have actually traveled along the paths shown on the map. So if you want to, you can use your GPS, record what do they call it? A trail? I haven't used a GPS in a long time.
I would say like a breadcrumb trail or
Breadcrumb
something like
trail,
that.
yeah.
And then upload that to OpenStreetMaps. Oh, are you down with OSM? Yeah, you know me. A track. Thank you. A track. That's what you turn on tracking. Thank you. Silly me and my lack of GPS knowledge. Look how quickly it goes.
Yeah, you got quickly off track.
Yeah. That was well done. That was really well done. Anyway, if you could use those tracks, upload them to OpenStreetMaps, and make sure that the trails that you use on a regular basis are on those. So anyway, I got off track talking about tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 from this article is it keeps you on the right trail when you're off the grid. Perhaps the best thing about Trails Maps is that geocachers can look for geocaches when they're offline, a feature that makes it easier to geocache in the further off corners of the great outdoors. Premium members, did you catch that? Premium members can save lists of geocaches for offline use in the Trails Map in the Geocaching app. So,
how do we do that?
Everybody pull out your phone. You want to follow along. Here's how to download a list and access it offline. Go to the My List section in the Geocaching app. Tap the ellipsis. That's the 3 dots. Next to the list that you want to download, select Download Offline Data. While offline, all downloaded lists will show a green check mark so you can look at them quickly and know if they're loaded. So there you go. Have a shot. Take a shot. Get off the trail and see where you can go. No, this is to show you to stay on the trail. That was really bad advice.
The whole point of this is to show the trails. Come on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
All right. Well, that could be very useful. I can't say that I've actually done that, but I'm going to investigate it soon.
Well, I can say in Cachly, you can also use OpenStreetMaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take thunder away from the Geocaching app, but Cachly also uses OpenStreetMaps to allow you to see those trails quickly.
Right.
And
I've got offline maps downloaded onto Cachly because I never knew if I was going to be in an area where I've got a good cell signal or not.
right.
All right. Well, download those offline maps and trails and make your next caching experience just a little bit better. You can probably measure exactly how much using numbers. And tonight we're talking about geocaching by the numbers. Use the hashtag numbers to let us know your thoughts on the topics.
Wouldn't that be the number sign tonight?
I was going to say, would there be 2 hashtags? Yeah.
Use the number sign numbers. No, the Octothorpe. Yeah. So, anybody know anything about numbers?
Well,
Nope.
I know I can count greater than 1.
I can go to at least 5 on one hand.
Yeah.
I know there's a method you can do on a hand where I think you can count I'm
Knuckles.
not sure by counting knuckles or something like that, you can get even further, but not something. I think Piffle Bear knows something about it, but yeah, she's always looking for those neat math tricks to
Yep.
pull out her fourth graders.
I think you
So
can count higher in ASL too, but
yeah,
I don't know.
There you go. Yep.
Yep.
So we're talking about the 2023. Sorry, I almost got it wrong there. 2023 year in review.
Oh, it was so last year.
I know, looking back. And again, this came from the geocaching blog. So they threw out a ton of numbers, lots of numbers. I didn't even count up how many numbers because there are so many numbers.
it was a bit overwhelming to look at. I will have to say that, I find quite a few of the numbers interesting because it, in some cases, really are not comparing apples to apples. I mean, they've, I don't know. It's that's statistics for you. I mean, you can make anything happen with statistics.
Right. Exactly. I want to say though, the very first number that they throw out, I don't think they've told us before.
2023.
I was going to say 2023. I mean, they've said that several times.
Oh, oops. Okay, let's go a little farther down then. Maybe it's the second number they throw out. The number of geocachers who found at least one geocache. Now, I know HQ has been reticent to give us how many geocachers are there in the world. But in 2023, we know there was 1.8 million geocachers that found at least one cache.
I was going to say, who found at least one geocache? We don't know how many cachers there were that didn't cache.
Yeah. In 2009, I was a geocacher, but I found 0 caches that year.
Right.
So,
but I mean, they've told us a number of fines and all the other things in the past, but I don't think they've ever included the number of people. So we always wonder, how many people are there? We know there's over 3 million geocaches in the world. Are there over 3 million geocachers? But it's hard to say, this account, wasn't active this year or for 6 months or whatever.
And you kind of wonder how many of those were sock puppet accounts.
Good point.
And I know, I mean, for instance, GSM times 2, when Bellagio is with them, Bellagio logs a cache too.
Look at that.
Look at there. Same question I just asked.
Just like you. Yep. Yeah.
Well, and how many accounts are shared between like a husband and wife? The multiple people share one account. So maybe it averages out.
Team Noltex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The podcasters, the land monkeys.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I always wondered on a situation when you have a joint account and your two people are in totally different spaces, but they're going to go ahead and log a cache.
Yeah.
Is that right? Anyway.
Well,
Land Monkey's not here to defend himself, so I'll say no.
I did find 2 caches that were at least over 2,000 miles away on the same day. Now I made sure to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That takes effort and planning.
And trying to find one actually after I landed in San Francisco, that was the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seaback Tribe says at one point my account had 6 of us on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And you at least I get logs from people saying, "Oh, hey, I found this, 8 years ago on my parents' account. And now I have my own account, so I'm going to log it again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1.8 million cachers who found at least one geocache. And it also says that on average, any idea how many geocaches that they found? People found on average 47.
I was going to go 42 because that's the perfect number.
That is the perfect number. And that's what Coaster says, numbers, hashtag numbers, 42.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
good.
47. I found that I found that interesting. And actually the one just to the left of that, the April 30th, had the most finds. Out of this entire chart, now here is my geekiness going in. Out of this entire chart, these are the only 2 prime numbers in the chart.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Now that isn't hard because it looks like the rest of them are actually all even.
well, true.
Yeah, well,
But yeah,
1,811,232 geocachers. We
Yeah.
rounded to 1.8 million because it's easier to say.
yeah,
But 47 and
595,801. They're both
Yeah.
prime numbers.
Hmm.
Which, yeah, it's like I just stuck it in a prime factorization calculator. It's like boop, and I've got them all listed over here. If we run out of things to talk about,
so what prime is 595,801?
the calculator didn't go that high. It couldn't tell me. 47 is the 15th prime, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
here- Going back to multiple users on an account, 3 hams and a rose. So there you go. There's at least 4 people, right?
yeah.
My wife, the Rose in 3 hams and a rose, has bagged us 4 states and 1 province on her conference travels, but I won't log a cache until she returns. I don't want to mess up our distance traveled travel bug.
Ah. Yeah, that would mess up stats a bit on that. Huh?
Yeah.
Right. You go back and forth, you ping pong
Mhm.
on travel. Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
Nice. So average 47. I mean, we know some people found, we have, people listening tonight that found well over 1,000 this year.
Yeah.
And
Well,
there may be, somebody who's just found 1.
Yeah. And I had a 111-day streak that I also went on.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like, I've maybe found 2 caches since then. I mean, but January has been a very busy month. So getting out caching has just not been in the cards.
Not practical for you.
No, just the weekly. We've got a weekly noon event that I've been going to lately. Yeah, so there's my find.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeps you up to date in your Jasmer, that's for sure.
Well, I was going to say, I have joked, and I do joke about my numbers being pathetic, but that's only compared to some very prolific caches I know. And but yeah, my numbers are rather modest in the grand scheme of things, but it was somewhat comforting to know that my find count was above average, based on these
There
numbers.
you go. Now, we see that almost 67,000 geocachers hid a geocache this year, at least 1. So that's quite impressive.
That's like 3.7% of the 1.8 million caches who found a cache.
Is it really? You just did that in your head?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, then why do we have Limax on?
I just channeled my inner Limax.
Oh, okay, good.
But yeah, that's pretty good though. 66,000, 67,000 caches hit it, and 21,104 geocachers hid their first geocache. So that's a little under a third the people that hit a cache did it for the first time.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, I know. I just saw some brand new cachers in this area hide them. Yeah, eventually I'll hide a cache myself, but I figure, I've gone 20 years so far. What's a few more?
Why ruin us? You're on a streak.
I'm on a streak.
But you could be a stat next year.
I did that math in my head, by the way, the 1/3. So
Just about.
just want you to know I did that one in my head.
Yeah,
man.
So hey,
I find it interesting that at least 67,000 caches were added this year. We don't know the total number of new caches, do we?
no, they kind of quit keeping track of that.
Yeah.
in a public forum.
Well, and because they could be a new cache, but if they're not any good, they don't last.
Yeah.
And it's fun to say, hey, yeah, we added 140,000 caches, but only 100,000 made it throughout the year.
Well, I know at least 1 cache gets added per week here because that's part of the noon event is a new puzzle cache each time.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And these are actually approachable. Fizzy has said that he's wanted to try to make this area a little bit more approachable when it comes to the puzzle caches. So there's an effort to do that.
IHAM wants to know, are there stats regarding hosting events?
Well, yes, there are.
Well, yes, there
Are
is.
there? Did I miss it?
Yeah, it's right below the
Oh, yes, there is.
yeah,
Well,
12,602.
thank you. IHAM, for
Geocachers
bringing this to
hosted
our
an
next
event. Yeah.
topic. 12,000 hosted an event. I know I did. I hosted one. I hosted several did I host? I think maybe another account of mine hosted.
I had good intentions.
GSM times 2 says you have Limax on primarily because he's a numbers geek.
Well, yeah. But that's okay.
Yeah.
What else we got for numbers? Oh,
Well,
Go
GSM
ahead.
times 2 says GCHQ, it's geocaching headquarters, really haven't done much to encourage setting caches, but they're getting better at it. That's true. Some of their recent challenges, not, I guess, is not to hide a cache, but you can get points if somebody gives you a favorite point on your cache.
right. I was going
You've
to say
already
that
hit.
Yeah.
So
it's a good incentive to place creative quality caches.
Right, and there's also the
oh yeah, the
Souvenir.
There's a souvenir, yeah.
Mhm.
boy,
I can't remember
words. I don't do words. I do numbers.
And I got my souvenir after an event. I put an event out. Well, that's hiding or hiding a geocache technically, right?
Technically, yes.
Technically, it is.
In the overachiever department, Wet Coaster says, I hosted 3 events last year, each one in a different country.
Holy cow! Well,
So with that's what, Ottawa, British Columbia, Alberta.
well, those are provinces, not countries.
Well, they're big enough to be countries.
Yes, they are. They're bigger than most countries. I'm thinking the U.S. and Canada would be 2, and then if we want to stay in North America, perhaps he went down to Mexico.
Yeah. Well, I thought it seems like I remember him going on a European trip this past year.
Maybe he did.
I don't remember now.
Thank you. That was very good. Yes, he hosted events on a cruise. There you go. Canada, Guernsey, and UK.
Now, where is Guernsey? I hear that come up, and it's like I should remember where that is.
Isn't it a breed of cow?
That's all I know.
Okay.
I thought that was a Jersey.
Oh, it's
I should know Guernsey. Guernsey might, or something similar to that.
It's one of the Channel Islands between the UK and France.
Aha. Okay.
there. You have it, and a type of cow.
I believe it is.
Oh.
And Wet Coaster says it's within sight of France.
Wow. But yet not France. So he could see France, but he didn't host an event in France. I believe he did those. I want to say he talked about them during the year, and that he hosted, while traveling. And I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Now, our resident overachiever in hosting events, Seebeck Tribe, hosted about 32 events last year. Also held my 50th on 123 at a bowling alley,
Which my sister referred to as the waltzing day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I refer to it as that myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Okay.
Yeah.
And we won't be able to do that this year.
That would be kind of a misstep, wouldn't it?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4.
But there you go. They were mostly July to December. And I know Seebeck Tribe started this during some of the summer challenges to, host an event or, and she just kept going, and she's doing one a month at least. There was a time she did, I want to say 1 a day for a week, or at least 5 in a row, something like that. It was crazy. So
Mhm. Yeah, that's what it's like going back to this the statistics, looking at April 30th, that was of course right in the middle of the whole
Nope.
challenge thing.
Sorry, no, it wasn't right. Never mind.
Ah,
Fake news.
oh, darn.
Well, I said it. I made it up on my own show, so she's got to now live by it.
She is a prolific event host, however.
Nonetheless.
Yeah.
And they're good events, but sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say April 30th, looking at that was the day that had the most fines. That was right during, was that during the By the Numbers part of the challenge, the
Could have
signals
been.
challenge?
I looked back just to confirm see what day of the week it was. It was a Sunday.
Okay, it was a Sun. Yeah, I figured it had to be a weekend day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my most of my fines are on Fridays, but that's because that's usually the day I can get out to go. But
I find April 30th an odd day. Not only at the end of the month, but I would expect June, July, August, those summer months, to be far more populous as fines. But there had to be something.
yeah, I figured it had to be a
Had to be
souvenir or
something
something
going
like
on,
that.
right?
Yeah.
A souvenir. It's also probably people just getting stir crazy through the winter and
Yeah.
True.
springtime. Let's just get out and cash.
Okay, so if you had to choose 5 countries, that's a handful of countries, 5, that had the most fined logs, what would you choose?
Guernsey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Guernsey, it's its own country. It's a British protectorate.
Yeah. It's
In case you wanted to know.
Yeah.
within inside of France, I've heard.
I've also heard it's where Three Ham's parents were born and raised. I believe he visited there when he was 4, 8, 12, and 16, which are
All multiples of 4.
Yeah.
So wonder what happened when you turned 20.
Oh,
It's classified.
there was an incident. We're not
Yeah.
allowed to talk about it.
Well, they did rank the top 5 countries with the most fined logs and the top 5 countries with the most new geocache hides, and they weren't the same 5 countries, believe it or not.
No.
No,
Yeah.
but it's interesting because at the very top, it's a couple of countries that are not a surprise to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not Guernsey.
That's not
Well,
Guernsey. No.
1, 2, 3 are the same in both categories.
Yes, but 1 and 2 switch between the
That's right.
categories.
So starting with number 5, let's count them down to number
Oh, there
1.
we go.
The 5th most fined logs by country is Kranzellerbach. No,
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 that's
when
not what
I-
I read from that.
when I was working in the paper products industry, that was what CZ always stood for. But
Yeah.
what is CZ? Is it Czechoslovakia? No, what is CZ?
Yes.
It's
Czechoslovakia.
they're calling it Czechia in the if you look underneath
I was
the
gonna say,
rest of it, but
Because I thought Czech and Slovakia were 2 different countries.
yeah,
nowadays.
Czech is I thought it was Czech Republic, but I mean the fact
okay.
I'm looking at their
Mhm.
on the blog page itself, and it has everything listed, and it says Czechia, CZECHIA. Ah.
I'm glad you checked on that.
Yeah, Czechia.
See, and I would when I saw it, it's like, oh, that's Czech Republic, but
Mhm.
I mean, it may have just gone underneath the name change, and I didn't realize it.
Well, and I think they do this so the sellers can sell more globes, because if you keep changing the name of the countries, you got to go get a new globe.
True.
Yeah.
True.
All right. So 5th is Czechia with a flag that consists of red, white, and blue. 4th is
Nederlanden.
Ooh.
Netherlands. The Netherlands with a flag of red, white, and blue.
Oh, okay. Well, what's number 3?
Coming in number 3 is a French.
I hear
The
you can see
French
Guernsey
people
from
did
there.
that. Yeah, you can see Guernsey from France.
Yeah.
And by the way, France has a flag that consists of red, white, and blue.
Or more properly, blue, white, and red.
Yeah, that's not proper. It's just French.
Okay. Hey, what would be number 2?
Coming in big number 2, the good old United States of America, whose flag, by the way, consists of colors of red, white, and blue.
Thank you for this episode of Fun with Flags.
That's right. And topping the podium, the number one country, the country with the most fine logs, that if you took red, white, and blue and struck them through a negative filter, they might look like this. That would be Deutschland. That's the black, red, and yellow flag. Those cachers in Germany, they do love to find geocaches.
Don't they, though?
Yeah.
Oh, they're crazy. And so do the Czechs, but I'm surprised they came in 5th.
Yeah, well, they got good colors in their flag.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's like, okay, you got Germany, France, Netherlands, and Czechia. You know, they're basically all, we'll say landlocked. I mean, you can get from one to the other pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, well, okay, Germany and France are right next to one another. Netherlands is kind of near there. And oh gosh, forgot to mute my phone. Piffle Bear just got home, and so she's texting me.
I thought there was late breaking news. You were going to come in. Yes.
Yeah, no, and she's texting me about Girl Scout cookies. It's that time of year.
Oh.
So what was I saying? Anyway, you know, Germany, France, and the Netherlands are pretty close together. Czechia.
Yeah. It's a day trip.
It's a day trip, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me that. Oh.
So there you have it. Now, if we look at, we've got 3 top 5 country categories. If we look at the top 5 countries with the most new geocache hides, we start at number 5.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep going with your countdown?
I just noticed that they have a flag. The colors red, white, and blue. Some might even refer to it as a Union Jack, I think, if I've used that term correctly. That would be Great Britain. So with England, they did a lot. But hid a lot of new caches in Great Britain in 2023.
That's right. Now, number 4.
Yeah, number 4, kick the blue right out the door. Just have a flag of red and white. Kind of boring that way. No, not boring at all. There are good friends to the north. Canada.
I thought that was the Tim Hortons flag.
Yeah, but it's close.
Okay.
Now, that what we all do to Abbotsford, and they're putting out of new geocaches out all the time, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Here you go. GSM times 2 nailed it. Canada's flag is red and white because their fingers are blue.
Okay. All right, moving up to number 3, the third most new geocache hides. Their flag's red, white, and blue. And we've talked about them before. Well, that would be France.
That's France.
France is 3rd in find logs and new hides.
You know, France is just a happening place, isn't it?
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently you go out and hide them and they go find them right away.
Yeah.
And that keeps everything moving.
Keeps it pretty even.
Yeah. Number 2 in the most new geocache hides is...
You tell us. Take it away.
Deutschland, Germany. With the, colorful flag of black, red, and yellow.
Yes.
I bet they're upset by that. You know, they'll probably do much better, try to do better next year.
They were 2nd in hides, but they've got a lot more finders. That's how come they had new find logs in number 1 spot.
Yeah.
So. And then, of course, number 1 with their flag of red, white, and blue for new hides is the United States.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Germany and the U.S. were number 1 and 2.
Yep. France was 3 in both of those.
Yep.
And then 4 and 5 are kind of up for grabs.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
What about favorite points? Do you guys use your favorite points?
I don't use them as much as I could, but
are you
I
a
do
favorite point hoarder?
I have 2 right now, but that's because I really haven't found any quality catches lately.
For just the price of 2 favorite points a day, you too can help out a lonely cache.
Yeah.
You get a favorite point for every 10 caches you find
Okay.
if you're a premium member. So, hold on. I stop and answer this question. Sorry. Shiny thing popped up. GSM times two wonders if that does or does not include ALs, Adventure Labs. GSM times two, there's a whole section for Adventure Labs that we'll get to in just a moment. So I'm going to say they don't include. Oh, CRS98 says, I'm going to guess the US had more power trails than any other country, hence the number of new hides.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
that's good thinking.
Well, if you looked down right near Yuma, there was a
Yeah.
heck of a power trail that just got posted down there, and power trails are all over Idaho and Oregon too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, although those have been around for a while. So,
When you consider the, geographic size of the U.S. versus the European countries, there's just a
Mhm.
whole lot more room to place power trails and caches like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Geo art.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
True. As long as you don't put it in the middle of a field of cattle, you're fine.
So here's what I find interesting. I'm going back to favorite points. Sorry. Getting
Okay.
back on track with the favorite points. The geocachers, all geocachers were awarded just shy of 4 million favorite points.
That's actually almost just shy of 35 million.
No,
Oh, wait a minute. Awarded. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong
awarded
one.
4
Looking
million.
at the wrong one.
The global community of geocachers has 34 million favorite points to award. So
Almost 10 times as much.
10
Mhm.
times as much. They took those 4 million they earned this year, just held on to them and increased that to the 30 million. So people, get rid of your favorite points, use them up. And if you put them on your favorite caches, could be me, could be anyone. I'm just saying, that maybe they'll get a virtual, one of the
There
new
you go.
virtual rewards, right? Anyway, there we go. See, some Brylang got rid of several hundreds favorite points by the end of the year. There we go. So it seems like favorite points are not being used as much as they're given. Nobody's
It-
arguing.
No, nobody's arguing it. I know. I don't
Counterpoint.
actually come to think of it. I need to ask Pillow Bear, but I'm not sure if she's even ever given out a favorite point.
Hmm.
But I mean,
Okay.
I know I have. I mean, I was down to 0 for a while. I'm up to 2 right now. But it's like, okay, I've been attending events lately, and there just hasn't been anything that I've felt that deserves a
Right.
favorite point right now. I
I
was giving out a lot of them during my streak.
mhm. And I applaud that, right? Right now I have 133 favorite points. So yeah, I give them out. Um, maybe this is a discussion for another day on favorite points, but do you give favorite points to events or caches that will be short term for an event or for a like a mega or giga event?
Hmm.
Because that those are going to be archived relatively soon, and is that a factor in giving out favorite points?
It is for me. I mean, I've got a lot of favorite points, of course, on archive caches, but it's like, okay, I have a good time attending an event, but it does not. Oh,
Yeah, I didn't know.
I was
GSM
going to ask the
to
question, but I
straighten it
wasn't
out.
sure
You
you could.
cannot give a favorite point to an event.
okay. Well,
Starcacher
there you go.
Our
concurs.
cacher agrees, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so well, there you go. What about caches that are not going to be out long?
I was going to say,
Right?
so no, I don't give favorite points to
No.
events. Just so
Oh,
you
But
okay.
know.
Well, I
but you
think you're
remember
with
that
the majority there.
we got those individual statistics
Mhm.
at the end of the year. What was the most favorited cache you found? GC9 fave.
Well,
It's
when it
like,
has
why are you giving a favorite point to a locationless cache that's just gonna be around briefly? I mean, it's like,
that's true.
and you're talking about one of your favorite caches, but why are you giving it a favorite cache, a favorite point by doing that? I mean, my previous high one was actually it may still be is in the Magic Kingdom in
Mm.
Florida. And it's the Cinderella Castle.
There you go. I didn't own the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Well, in California.
No, Magic Kingdom's in Florida.
That's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
California has Sleeping Beauty's castle.
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty Castle's in California.
Because, when I was there, I found out through a close friend, shall we say, that you can go into Sleeping Beauty's castle and walk through there. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I learned things.
I've done that to get out of the rain before.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I heard it never rains in Southern California, but that's why I have a poncho from there.
But it pours. Man, it pours.
So anyway, another question, probably for another day. Do you manage your favorite points? If a cache that you've previously favored it is archived, do you take the favorite point away?
No.
You can put it towards one that maybe is more deserving and active. Anyway.
Honestly, for me, for the most part, I forget favorite points even exist.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Right there with Seabeck Tribe.
Yeah.
I forget to award them. Oh, and GSM times 2 says virtual awards were awarded today. I believe yesterday as well. So
yeah, they were yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's true. Too late for my theory, but that's kind of what brought it to mind.
Planning ahead for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Or later this year.
Or whenever the next time is, yeah.
Should we jump to Adventure Labs or should we talk about community next? What do you guys feel? We can play fast and loose with numbers.
We certainly can.
Let's jump to Adventure Labs since it was brought up earlier.
Yeah.
Somebody want to mention how many Adventure Labs are currently active?
That would be 66,996, which, just like actually the total number, the total number of favorite points that the community has to give out. I mean, the fact you had only 3 numbers between that, 34, 342, 442, and now you've got 66996, and 9s just look like 6s anyway.
Yeah. Just shy of 67,000 adventures. So if there isn't one near you, well, you shouldn't be too far away.
It's like I've done all the ones near me.
Now, out of those 67,000, 9,630 were created just this year.
This is what I was talking about with, kind of the statistics here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, whereas, of course, geocaching as a sport has been around a lot longer than the Adventure Labs has. But here we talk about total number of active adventures. But in the terms of geocaches, you just said this many were hidden this year.
Yes.
So it's yeah.
GSM times 2 wants to know, is that Adventure Labs or Adventure Lab locations? And, it just says that 9,630 adventures were created this year. I'm assuming that's the entire adventure.
I believe that's how I would interpret it.
Yeah.
Right. Now, interestingly, 9 million adventures were completed. So what do we do the math of 9 million into 67,000? How many times were each adventure done on average? Hold on.
Lot.
Wait a minute. I have a mathematician right here on my computer.
Give me just 1 second here.
Nothing to nothing.
I get 134.
I got 136 and a half.
Okay, so you did more precise numbers.
Well, I just pulled up my calculator app on my computer.
I did 67,000 by 9 million. So.
Yeah, I did precise. My 10 key prowess is strong.
You're strong with the 10 key. So 136 times. That's decent. I don't know if I have 136 finds in my Adventure Labs.
Yeah, I don't know if I do either. I mean, we were supposed to start getting feedback.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know,
I do.
I don't get any feedback on mine.
Mm,
It's I know Pivotal Bear does on hers, but she's got a sign missing on hers, and it's like I actually need to take a drive up the coast and check out all the sites. Pivotal Bear thinks I'm crazy to try to do that in a day, but
why not?
I I mean, okay, it's only 4 hours to the closest spot, and getting up to Leggett via US California Highway 1 is not the fastest way to get
Right.
there, but I'll do it, just to get it done. But I'm gonna wait till the weather improves first, and
Yeah.
that I've got time.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Okay. So GSM times two is I have a feeling that's 9 million locations, not adventures. I don't know about that because if we look at 67,000 adventures out there, that's 134 finds per adventure. Some adventures are going to be found much more than others, right? Say Disneyland or other places.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable number for adventures and not locations.
Yeah. It's like I know Piffle and Bear and I both found the adventure that was in the area between the gates when we went through there
Yes.
last March.
Yep, I did too.
Yeah. We also did the one in downtown Disney as well.
Yes, I did. I had to think about that one. Yes, I think I had to run back for one when I realized, oh, there's an adventure here.
Yeah. And we stopped for lunch on the way too.
Nice. GSM times two says my adventure's been found about 44 times. I'm sure there's a quick way to find that. I'm not going to do it right now. But yes, I'm getting feedback. And that poses the question of, do you guys leave feedback on your adventures? When you do one, do you give it stars and then put in some words?
I haven't been, but I've been lazy about it. I probably should start doing that. I did that on the first few I did. Then I found out the feedback was public. So I had to go back and change some of the comments in the one I made.
Mm-hmm.
Not that anything was bad in the comments. I was giving things away on the stages. It's like, yeah, how did you some of the stages I had to play multiple guess in order to find it because I couldn't find the answer.
Sierra's 98 says, I'm sure GSM times two is right, meaning that it's 9 million locations, not adventures.
Okay.
Actually,
GSM times two leaves feedback, as does CRS 98. I don't always include pictures. He says, I always leave a bit of feedback and include pictures. I always give it a rating and, at least say thank you for taking the time to create this, depending on how good it is. Some of them are fabulous. Some of them provide a great walking tour of the history of the area, different things like that. And you're like, wow, this was worthwhile.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. CRS 98 apparently has some insight here. Well, if you've met him, he's very insightful. Anecdotally, there are far fewer adventure labs being created now than new caches. Having said that, I do a lot more adventure labs than caches in terms of publication rate.
Yeah, sometimes if you're doing some of the find souvenirs, it's like the one we just had for winter solstice.
Mm-hmm.
Piffle Bear and I did an adventure lab to get quite a few of those just so we could get them out of the way. She did not have a lot of time to go, fit it, do it a whole thing. So, yeah. And so we were, where were we? We're up in Pleasant Hill. There was a really cool cemetery up there.
It sounds so pleasant.
Yeah, well, it was. Seriously, it was. It's a very nice cemetery.
Komakino says, as someone that has 2 adventure labs, I appreciate good feedback.
Yeah, I still have a credit that I haven't used.
GSM times 2 says, common feedback, more later.
I've seen that on geocaches too.
It's the TFTC of Adventure Labs.
Yeah. I don't know if you can go back and edit those on Adventure Labs, though. Anyway. Okay. So Adventure Labs. There we go. 67,000 total, 9 million completed, and 9,600 created this year. Top 5 countries
Yeah.
with the most adventures. Guess what color the flags are?
Black, red, and yellow.
Well, that's number 1.
That's
Okay.
number one is, yeah.
Common theme there.
And number 2?
Yeah.
With the red,
Again,
white, blue?
yeah. Again, the US and Germany have the top 2 spots.
And France is
Germany.
number 3 again.
And France is 3. France is very consistent at the number 3 spot.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Coming in 4 and 5, each with a red, white, and blue flag, are players we've mentioned previously. 4 is Great Britain and 5 is the Netherlands.
That's right. Yes, you can go back and edit AL feedback.
Okay.
I do it through the phone. Well, it's how you do adventure, and I just never go back and do it. I have to admit, I usually leave stars, right? Depending if everything's there, great, 5 stars, and say, hey, thank you for this. One I did just at the T-Mobile Park where the Mariners play. One, maybe it was because of construction and they had barriers up and I couldn't see everything I was supposed to see.
Mhm.
And you're supposed to count the number of figures, and I'm like, oh, that didn't work. So, with Adventure Labs, you can keep guessing, forever. So I
Yeah.
just kept incrementing by 1 till I hit it. There it
Yeah.
is. I must
I've
not be
done-
able to see them all.
I've done that.
Yeah. I actually did that recently with Where I Go too.
Hmm.
Similar sort of thing. But I know in Dublin, there was a adventure lab at the Pioneer Cemetery, which is it's the cemetery that was there before. Well, actually, Dublin was only recently incorporated, but even before there was even a community.
And I'm thinking Dublin, California, not
Yeah,
necessarily
Dublin, California. Yeah.
Ireland. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it had an adventure lab in it, and they were doing some renovations, and so you couldn't really do the entire adventure lab unless you really wanted to trespass across the orange construction fence.
Hmm.
So we went back and did it later. At least, no, I know I did. I don't know if Piffle Bear was with me. She did it. Yeah. Trying to remember. It didn't. Yeah.
The last section is community, and things like the most viewed TikTok post of 2023. And I assume this is just on the geocaching account.
I would assume so. I don't know. It's the most. It says the most viewed TikTok post, so it had to be their account.
Yeah.
I personally am not on TikTok. I have no desire to get on TikTok. It still seems sketchy to me, but I know that it gets used a lot. But
yeah,
to each
my
their
son
own.
is on TikTok and he makes some serious money on there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the most viewed TikToks or geocaches are hidden all around you. Some are more hidden than others. The most liked Instagram post of 2023. Have you ever seen a cache like this?
That could be any one of many caches, any one of many posts they had.
The most viewed blog post in 2023. What comes next in the wheel of challenges?
Well, that's easy enough. There was 6 of those.
Right, but which one?
Yes.
It could have been any one of the 6.
Right.
And the most shared Facebook post of 2023 is the search for alien life is right at your fingertips. And I wonder what the geocaching one was. Oh, no, that was it. Okay, so there's our numbers.
Lots and lots of numbers.
Yeah.
Several.
Lots of fun tonight. Limax, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
We liked it. And folks, we want to thank you for tuning into this episode of Caching in the Northwest. And of course, we want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. That is Landsharks and Gold Country Geotourism, our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online because they ship orders every single day. Can you believe that? That's amazing. And for absolutely amazing geocaching and outdoor adventures, go check out exploregoldcountry.com. And if we also want to take this opportunity to thank our other faithful Denali level supporters. That's Landsharks, Gold Country, Geotourism, Groovy Owl, Cool Cow Cachers, and Cashly. If you want to know more about supporting the show, click on the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website, like Wet Coaster did.
And Kid Vegas 19.
And Limax.
Oh, I've heard of him. About Ackerdock.
And Subway Mark.
Whidbey Island Gal.
Just Carlo.
Nervous Energies.
CRS 98.
Team Noltex.
Flagman.
Skyhawker.
Ari 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Genies.
Don't take him for granted.
That's right.
BC Rock Crawler.
Kitty Quest.
You Talks to Rocks.
Amnerf.
Mountain Bike.
GSM times 2.
Seabeck Tribe.
J-Car.
Korsgat.
Boomer 365.
Dora Moore.
Geocaches.
MC3 Cats.
The Camp Clan.
You, Dak.
GeoNav Pro.
Just finding our way.
Antaeus.
Peach of Washington.
Winos Seattle.
Trexer.
Alarubric.
Greenwords.
LG9000.
Segehove.
Logwork.
Kev MacD.
B Pendragon.
And Terrible Lunch, Great Cacher. Gas Station Tuna.
All right. Thanks to all of them, and thanks again to you, Limax, for joining us and talking about numbers.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do you have a preferred way if somebody wanted to get in touch with you and ask you to crunch some numbers?
Probably the best way would be through the geocaching app
There you
or
go.
geocaching, whatever it's
Messenger.
called, the messenger thingy.
Which is,
Yeah.
available through the app and or website.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's very handy, especially when it's on your phone.
Yeah.
Folks, thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website. If you didn't like the show, I don't know how you would, because maybe it didn't add up for you. Tell us what you want us to talk about. And if you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a review. Because if you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. Of course, you can always call 253-693-TFTC and leave a comment, ask a question, or help boost our numbers any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. The show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jay Kennedy, and Brian Lang. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2024 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show.
The After Show. GSM times 2. You want to know who got a virtual reward? I say nobody answer that until next week.
Ooh.
Well, I'm not on the show next week.
Oh, did you get a virtual reward?
Oh, no, of course not.
Okay.
With 0 hides, why would I have a virtual reward?
I forgot that. That's right. Wait a minute. Let me do the math. Nope.
Chances are the number of hides times something.
Excuse me. Yes, that's right. Do we have anything for test? We do. Uh-oh. See, now, this was well before I said don't mention it, but CRS 98 got a 4th release virtual reward.
Wow. Do you have to catch it first? Is it like catch and release?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
It's the same, but different.
Yeah. Out of the 10 people at our noontime event on Wednesday, 4 of them had gotten them.
You know, if I do the math, that says 40%.
Yeah, it says 40%. And there was at least 2 others that also got them that I found out about. So I don't know.
60% of the people you polled got virtual rewards.
we'll just say 6 people of the ones I've told. But it was interesting because I don't know, because people were saying, people who got them who were of course, they were thrilled that they got
Mhm.
them. Um, they were saying that there's been kind of a, I don't know what the word is, but people in the Bay Area have not been getting them, have not been
Mhm.
rewarded them recently. I don't know. So Fizzy was really happy because it's, oh, good. Several of my friends got them.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
I know he got one, I think, in the very first go round. Yeah, back when they did things differently.
I
So
I know they try to spread them out across multiple countries, right? So not, I mean, if you look at it, the US could be unfairly represented.
yeah,
So I get that. Also, we have another FATAS. This one's from IHAM. He's focused on the number 20 this year. This is his 20th anniversary of his first find on the 31st. So on the 31st of this month, there will be an event to celebrate the 20th anniversary.
excellent.
So
Yeah,
congratulations, IHAM.
yeah. My my join date was January 28th, 2004.
Oh, so you got time.
Yeah, but my first
Not enough to do an event. It's only 10
no,
days away.
my first cash find wasn't until like February 27th or something like that,
Okay.
or 28th. I don't remember anymore. I mean, that very first year, 2004, I found 6 caches.
Well,
But
go
yeah,
throw yourself an event. You deserve it. You've earned it.
uh,
All right. Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us. And until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.